Hey guys, this is episode 4 of my Emerald Seaglass Wishlocke challenge. This is Jabari Mongoose. Please follow and subscribe to my TikTok and YouTube channels if you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for any just kind of support in general though. Last episode, we almost wiped to my rival, but we recovered, and now I made it to Mauville City, and I go a little bit of a shopping spree. I get the coin case and the HM for Rock Smash. And after that, I'm going to be going after Wally so I can get into the Mauville gym to challenge Watson. Wally is not going to be difficult. He just has a level 18 Ralts, which it's still just a Ralt. It's really not going to be a problem unless it's a Gallade or Gardevoir. So that gets dealt with really quickly. Actually, before I go into Watson's gym, I wanted to point out you can get the Good Rod early. You normally have to get it after you get Surf, which is after your 5th badge, but in Emerald Seaglass, they give it to you early, which is really nice. Going through Watson's trainers is really not that challenging. Things to note, Volbeat is an electric bug type in this game, which I think makes sense. GitHub the Shroomish evolves into Breloom, and Luisinja evolves from Nidorina to Nidoqueen. So, got some good resistances for this fight. I'm feeling really good with the team I'm bringing to this fight. I really don't think I should have too much difficulty, but let's get into this and see what happens. I lead off with Luis, and Watson sends out his Volbeat. Luis doesn't really have a lot of strong stab moves or anything. Really, I'm just using him as a starter for his bulk and just to start dealing some overall damage. Volbeat looks like cannot hurt me that much except by using Infestation, which can rack up damage pretty quickly. He does not heal, which is actually pretty nice, because I killed the Volbeat with a bite here and my Oranberry proc, so I have a little bit more HP to cushion with. I decided to stay in with Magneton because at worst the Magneton has a steel move that does neutral damage, and I feel like I can survive it, but all it wants to do is try to hit a Supersonic. After 2 turns of double kicks, the Magneton does land a Supersonic, and I decide to switch into Belial. Belial takes a Sonic Boom, which I was correct about that being its only move to hit ground types, and we hit it with a Lava Plume, and that's 2 Pokemon down for Watson. His next Pokemon is going to be his Flaffy, and I decided to stay in and use a Magnitude. I did not expect the Power Gem, and it does a fair bit of damage, and Magnitude just barely misses out on the kill. So I decided to switch into Gasm's the Onix, who is going to be faster. And yeah, he doesn't take much damage from the Power Gem, and we kill with a bite. His last Pokemon is going to be Manectric, and Watson's Manectric is almost to a T the same as the Emerald version, where it pretty much has Shockwave, it has Howl and Quick Attack. I do not know what the 4th move is. Maybe it's Thunder Wave, but all it wants to do is set up Howl. I set up a Curse so that my Rock Tombs can do a little bit more damage. But yeah, this is really just straightforward. Onix has amazing physical bulk, and a Pokemon like Manectric just cannot do anything to it unless it hits for super effective damage. So yeah, you see that Manectric does pitiful damage with a Quick Attack, and we get our 3rd batch Deathless. So really happy about that. While setting up my party, I do decide to use a Sunstone I required to evolve Sunkern into Sunflora. And Sunflora's box sprite looks way better than Sunkern's, so I'll allow Collins to Sunflora to join my team now. Before continuing the gym challenge, I'm going to take a side trip through Route 117. I'm going to go to Verdanturf Town. There's a guy that'll give me Wishing Stones. And I also start leveling up my Pokemon, and I get Poliwag to evolve into Poliwhirl. I get the Wishing Stones that I mentioned just a second ago. And also, I get the Metal Coats on the other side of Rustturf Tunnel, but I'm not going to evolve Onix into Steelix just yet. I then use Rock Smash to reunite the couple, which gives me the HM for Strength. And now it's going back to Rustboro City to get some new encounters. First up, we get God Usopp the Spoink, Damon Byers the Cubone, Romulus the Munchlax, Manosky the Tentacool, and finally, a female Ghastly, so that's going to be named after my wife, Banan. I'm pretty happy with this stack of encounters, so yeah, now we're going to move on to Route 111. Actually, one more side detour. After you beat Watson in Mauville City, if you go back to Slateport City, you get to talk to the scientist. He gives you a portable Pokemon box, so now I can monitor my PC outside of the Pokemon Center. So now I'm going to trek through Route 111 and all the other routes to get to Fall Arbor Town. I decided to make a quick stop to visit the Windstrait family and go through their little gauntlet. Really not that bad, especially since I'm at a significantly higher level than them. Sketchy Cat takes care of pretty much everyone except for Grandma, because she has a high jump kick Meditite. Didn't want to risk that, but Luis, the Nidoqueen, is able to quickly take care of her, and we get the Macho Brace. Probably not going to use it, but you know, it's pretty nice to have. Honestly, the trek through the several routes to Fall Arbor Town was really easy. Getting to Fall Arbor Town itself is actually really pretty. There's a lot of berry trees, so you know, I go berry picking for a second, and then I go heal up and, you know, just restock and everything. The heart scale move relearner is here, so that's good to take a note of. And lastly, there's a familiar NPC, Professor Elm. He will give you a Pichu if you have 50 Pokemon in your Pokedex. This Pichu is actually a spiky-haired Pichu that apparently traveled in time with Celebi. So it does not evolve, but it has a much higher base stats than like a normal Pichu, and I think that's just really cool. But unfortunately, it gotta show off some times where just the most random trainer can cause tragedy. This fisherman is on Route 114, is the only trainer I know that has a Dratini, and I must have been eating or something, but the point is my brain was on autopilot, because I completely neglected the paralysis and the confusion, and then the Dragon Rage that killed my Gyarados when it was at 39 HP. Danny M. Diaz, you are gone way too soon, and I am incredibly sorry. Well, after suffering a loss like that, you really can just only move on. Going to Professor Lynette's house, you get a link cable, so I was able to get Banan from a Haunter to a Gengar really early, honestly. And then it's going through Meteor Falls just to see Team Aqua and Team Magma have a little dispute before they make their way to Mount Chimney. To end off today's episode, I got 4 more wishing stars, so let's go ahead and do a second round of encounters. Our first encounter is going to be Adrian the Caterpie, Bri the Kecleon, Carlos the Mantike. Hopefully I can find a Remoraid to evolve him. And finally, we have Hugo Mendoza the Shuppet. And that's today's encounters. So I hope people enjoyed this episode. Tune in for next time, where I'm going to go through Mount Chimney, and possibly we may get to Flannery. Let's see how this goes.